Thank you. I think let's start then. I think, just to recap what we did last week, for you to understand what academic literacy is. For you to become proficient in your reading and writing, you need to understand what academic literacy is all about. Maybe some of you might have known that we used to have a tutorial support where you will have a tutor who will come and assist you. And I mean, those some of the students, used to attend tutorials. So unfortunately, now we no longer have tutorials. So this is the only program. Anyway, there are e-tutors. Maybe some of you have e-tutors and stuff. So because we used to have e-tutoring, and then we have face-to-face tutoring, and then we have academic literacy. So academic literacy, its purpose is to assist you with the application of the content. Because, for instance, when you read, you are applying the skills of understanding whatever that you are reading about. Whereas with tutoring, they will just deal with your content without giving you the skills to say, how do I approach whatever that you need to deal with? So academic literacy is going to equip you on that, to have proficiency. Proficiency means this is when now you sharpen your skills. You are able to do things in an excellent way because now you have got a better understanding. How do you approach this? It's like when you are, for instance, you are asked to say, bake a cake. If you don't have the recipe, then you are not able to bake a nice cake. But if you are given the recipe to say, this is the measurements, so academic literacy, it's about that, because this is now where you fine-tune your skills of reading. Remember, we read to write. That's why last week when we were talking about the writing process, I even mentioned that writing is also like a recipe. So reading also, for you to understand what you are reading, you need to have the recipe that you follow to say, what do I do when I'm reading? And remember, you're not reading maybe for one thing, like you are reading a novel where you'll say, okay, now I'm dealing with Shakespeare. You've got lots of material that you have to go through. So the purpose of this presentation is to equip you with those skills. Now, I have indicated to say we have got different types of literacies that you will need as a student, because right now you have registered for different qualifications. If, for instance, I can ask to say, Kabelo, which qualification have you registered for? So whatever qualification that you have registered for, you will find that what kind of literacy are you going to need or apply. For instance, if you are registered maybe for, say, for economic and management sciences, where you have to deal with finances, so it means then you will need what we call financial literacy. So are you able to take or manage your finances? If you are calculating, or maybe you're talking about your budget, so you need those financial skills, financial literacies. So Financial literacy will assist you to say, how do I deal, which decisions do I take about the usage and managing of my money? Because you will be dealing with finances. Say, for instance, you finish your qualification and then you are supposed now, you are given a budget in this organization to say, here is the budget, and then you need to manage it. So you need those financial literacy skills. I know nothing about whatever the module that you will be dealing with in finances, but those skills, the literacies thereof, this is where now you are going to delve deeper in understanding, how do I deal with the budget? How do I deal with the money? So you will need that. And then, for instance, if you are doing whatever this science modules, maybe maths or chemistry or whatever, you will need the scientific literacy, because you will need to have those measurements in the laboratory and so you need to understand those scientific concepts and the processes that needs to be followed. So you learn that by reading well, to say, how do I read these concepts? What is my understanding of these concepts and processes? So that is now when you are dealing with science modules, information literacy. Then with information literacy, right now I partner with the library. When we partner with the library, we are saying, what are the tools that you will need when you are searching for information? Because you need to be trained to know those search engines. We call them search tools or search engines, to say, if you have an assignment, which resources or which sources will you need, for you to be able to do well in your assignment. So the library is the one that will teach you, for you to get those skills of saying, how do I search for information? Which articles do I need? Which books do I need? Actually, what I will do for our session on Friday, in terms of referencing, I can invite even the library to come and give you that session, because they're the ones who deal with referencing different types of articles that you need to reference to, different types of books or recommended books that you will need. So because we work collaboratively, we don't work in silos. If there is a unit that deals with a specific like session, we can refer you there, and then we can invite you, and then the library can also come and help you with that. So all these literacies, you need to know about them. You need to be able to identify which one speaks to my qualification. If we're talking about digital literacy, everybody needs that, because we are in a digital era now. Everything that we do, we have to be able to use technology. We need to organize, like now we are on Teams. We need to evaluate and create information, because in a digital world, everything needs to be organized properly. We need to understand what we're dealing with. We need to navigate on the system, and then we need to evaluate even the information that we get. Because you guys now, you are very prone to, getting information. You're bombarded with information. So the question now is that which information has been evaluated, which information is genuine, Remember, we've got fake news, we've got, so in terms of sourcing the information, you need to be very, very careful in this digital era, because some of the information you find that is not like real information. There is no authenticity in whatever that you will get. So you need to be very, very careful. Actually, I'll talk to the library to give you, because there are some sources that are referred to be not genuine. So the library deals with that, because they deal with the authenticity of the information, the articles, the books that you need to read and stuff. So the literacy that I will be equipping you with is the critical literacy. This critical literacy, remember last week when we were talking about when you write, you end up saying, we want to hear your voice in each and every something that you write. Kabelo, I can't remember whether it was Kabelo last week, he was telling me about what he read there to say, so when he brings his views, does he have to say, me, Kabelo, this is what I'm saying? And then I said, no, you just said, in my view or in my opinion, whatever the piece of information that I have read here, this is how I feel. You bring your own understanding. So that is critical literacy. And this is what I'm busy with now, because I want you to be critical readers. I want to be critical writers. Because now you think, I want to hear your voice. Your lecturer wants to hear your voice to say, okay, in whatever that you have read, after you have been equipped with the skills of reading, where is your voice? Whose voice is being heard in whatever that you will be reading? Whose voice is being silenced? Because in an academic environment, no voice should be silenced, because we have what we call academic freedom. So as you venture in this academic, world, we need to hear your voice. Your voice is not supposed to be silenced. That's why there is no right or wrong answer. I remember I said, as long as whatever that you are talking about, you substantiate it, you support it, to say, I support my ideas by this and this and that. So I just wanted us to be to understand what these different types of literacies that you will need. And you might find that you need all of them. So it means then, obviously, you will need digital literacies, because we are in a digital environment. UNISA is an ODEL environment, which is, we deal with online. You will need information literacy, you need critical literacy, you need scientific. So depending, you might need actually almost all of them. So now I'm going to deal with the reading. How do you read for academic purposes? And then last week we were dealing with an essay. I say essay writing. And then we spoke about different types of essays. But remember at the back of your mind to say, when you read, the purpose thereof is to comprehend, is to understand. When you understand what you are reading, then you analyze. And then that's why you must have analytical skills. So you need to analyze what you are reading. And, this digital period, sometimes that's why Mkolisi said, he prefers recording. because in a recording you just listen and listen and listen. But let me give you a hint to say, and as an academic, and it's not a prescription, we are not prescribing, because you will see as we go forward that we have got different learning techniques that students learn differently. Others will say, I learn by just listening, and then you understand it. Others, they want to read it, well, on the screen, depending on you guys, because you are the generation that was born during technology. You can read from the screen. I cannot read from a screen. I need a paper. I need to I want to smell what I'm reading from the paper. But you know, it's a matter of preference. So what you need to understand is that reading, it must be your priority. You cannot replace it by anything. You cannot. Technology that we use does not replace reading, because it just enhances your reading. When you are given a text, that text, whether you are reading it online, whether you are reading it whatever, but you need to read. And when you are reading, you should be taking your notes. You must be making your notes so that you understand what you are reading about. So when you read a comprehension or a text, because when you see the term comprehension, you are given a text. It can be a paragraph, it can be your assignment question. The purpose is that you must be able to decode and understand what has been written there, or what you are visualizing. For those who wants to see what has been written, you need to decode. So you need to check what decoding means so that you can understand. It means then you need to make meaning of whatever that you are reading about. So when you read, I'm going to give you two key points that when you read, you must be able to skimming. When you skim through a passage or whatever the text that you are reading about, you need to, the purpose thereof is to find main ideas. If you are reading about something, say for instance, it's an article that you are going through, you need to ask yourself, what are the main ideas here? What is this author talking about? You need to understand that. As much as you are going through this article quickly, but what is the main ideas? And then you must ask yourself these WH questions. Who did this? What happened? Where? When? Why? How did it happen? If, for instance, you are dealing with, I'll go back again to argumentative essay. If you are arguing for, or maybe let me take, say, a descriptive essay. When you are describing what happened there, you need to ask yourself all those questions, the WH questions. Who was coming from which direction? Say, for instance, you are describing the accident that happened. Who was coming from the north or from the south in between these two drivers? And then what has happened? What happened there? If this one was coming from this direction, what happened? Did he apply the brakes? Did he brake? Did he try to beat the red lights, the robots? Where did, you know, all those things in when you are describing, when you are dealing with a descriptive essay, you need to ask yourself those questions because you are describing the whole scenario of what has happened. So you need to find pieces of information. When this happened, what are the names of the drivers? Because when the police come now and take the statement, they need to have the names. What happened? You know, all those things. So skimming is that it helps you to find the main ideas when you are reading. Then, when you come to the last paragraphs, it's when now you summarize, you encapsulate, you summarize, you give the conclusion of the main ideas. And then now you give your own views to say, no, in my views, in that descriptive essay, this driver who came from the north side, he's the one who is at fault because he was trying to beat the robot. This one was about to take off. So you come up with your conclusion and then now presenting your own a resolution or your own conclusion to say, in my view, this is what has happened. So skimming helps you with that because you sort of like get the gist of the matter of what has happened here. When did it happen? So it means then when you are reading every time, these are the things that must be born into your mind to say, we read for comprehending. So that when you are writing now, you are clear, you understand to say, oh, okay, in this scenario, this is the main idea. This is, the core of what has happened. Then the second point of the reading techniques is the scanning. So when we talk about the scanning information, it's when you want to find specific information. Like, I normally give an example of saying now during load shedding, everybody knows about what time are you going to have your load shedding? Because this is the information that will help you to prepare to say, okay, during this time, this is what I'm going to. I was talking about the scanning of the information is when you want to find specific information which will help you. If, for instance, there is an educational program that you listen to, maybe those who are doing law, you want to maybe follow a story of how does a judgment came about when the lawyers are arguing in court. So all those things, it's some information that you scan through to say, oh, today I want to listen to case of the public protector and, the parliament or whatever that is educational, that will contribute to your studies. Because you see, as students now, as academic students, what you need to do, you need to have this mind of saying, please invest in listening to the current news, something that will benefit you even in your studies. Because remember, the knowledge that you are going to acquire, it's the knowledge that happen in our society. So, develop an interest. If, for instance, Kabelo, you are doing law, I don't even know what is your qualification. If you are doing law or you are doing engineering or you are doing whatever, have an interest in things or stuff that will enhance your knowledge. If, for instance, you have registered for engineering or whatever, then they're talking about this breakdown of units at Kusile and what have you. have keen interest, because tomorrow you will be contributing, you will be doing research in whatever this breakage of Eskom and what have you and what have not. So scan the information. Here, when we talk about scanning, we're talking about the information that will contribute to, which will advance or enhance your studies. So whatever field that you have registered for, and then make sure that you develop keen interest, because remember, you are going to contribute to that body of knowledge. When you finish your degree, your junior degree, when you do your honors, when you do your masters, then you will be focusing now on research to say, okay, I have interest in finding out to say, how does this power stations, how are they built? Or when you have breakages and they said no, this power station has broken down, whatever, what happened? So you need to make sure that you read anything and everything that is related to your field, because when you write your assignment, for you to get more marks, it's when you make reference to other sources that speaks in line of that. So don't just read your tutorial letter or just the prescribed book. Find even the articles. That's when you will be able to get more marks. Because remember, I'm just giving you the tips. I'm just giving you what will help you in your, when you are reading. Make sure that you develop interest in whatever that you are studying for, and it makes you even smarter, because you are able to to discuss, to have a debate. And another thing that I can advise you when you are studying, make sure that you form a group. Make sure that amongst yourselves, you form your group that you can be able to, study together, bouncing ideas, because this distance learning, it can be very lonely and frustrating. So you see now, you see this student numbers of your fellow students that you're attending with. Try to form a group, even if you are 2, 3, 4, and then to say, okay, let's share whatever our work. Share your work with your fellow students. You can share with us to say, this is how I approach it. Or you discuss before you even start your assignment. Because this one will come with an idea, this one comes with an idea, this one comes with, and then you're like, oh, okay, I was understanding it differently. No, man, I think the way that Gabriel is saying it, the way Policy is saying it, it makes a bit of sense. So you share those ideas. So this is when now you are reading. Maybe one will read this article, the other one read about this, another one read, and then now you sit down and discuss, so that you share the ideas. Because alone, it's studying in this environment, it can be really frustrating. I studied through UNISA, but it wasn't easy. And you guys, you are lucky now that you even have people who are supporting you. You've got tutors. During our times, there was no tutor. You were only depending on the lecturer, and it was difficult. So make sure that when you are reading, have those partners that you read with, your fellow students, and then you form groups. Here I was just showing you the strategies or tips of reading faster. Remember, you cannot manage to read like you're reading. I don't know, you have all the time, because you don't have time. Right now, you are pressed for your assignments. Some of you, you're saying your assignments are due on the 1st. which is Saturday or whatever, maybe if you like, you will get an extension. So make sure that you equip with yourself. You must have a way. You are not cheating, but you are having these tips of saying, okay, if I have this, and then I'm going to read the first paragraph, and in that paragraph, you're taking notes. Ne? What are the key words? What are the key concepts? You write them. Then you skip the last sentence or the paragraph. Now you have got on your first paragraph, you know that, oh, okay, this is what they're talking about. You've taken those keywords, those key concepts, then you jump. Then you go now, you skim through. You remember the skimming that I was talking about? You skim the keywords and phrases. Okay, these are the keywords. Okay, then you ignore these little words like, you know, eat, to, be, whatever. You ignore them. Then you look for key points. So you see, you are having a way. You are not just reading like flowing like a river. You are making notes. You are taking notes. Okay, these are the key points. These are the key phrases. You mark them. Okay, and then always when you are reading, because actually it's not even reading, it's studying. Then you use all the tools, you know, okay, you list things there, you have your bullets, you making your notes. If it's in the margin of your tutorial letter maybe, or your study guide, you are taking some notes here by the margin. Okay, and so you see all those things, they're helping you to say, okay, how do I go about it? Because time is the thing that you don't have. You have to be fast, and then you have got this assignment, you've got the next one, you've got the next one. So how do you then tackle this this information, which is really overwhelming? And then I spoke about this even during the induction or the information session, to say, please make sure that when you read or when you're studying, you have a good posture. Good posture, it means you must sit up straight, must sit well, properly. So some people will say, no, you know, I read well when I'm in bed, when I'm just lying down. The question is, how are you going to take notes? How are you going to write down the key points? How are you going to write the main thoughts, the main ideas when you are sleeping? So these are the things that you need to unteach yourself. You must unlearn those things, because it's not a good a strategy. Because when you are reading, you should take notes. You should make yourself know to say, okay, here I'm marking, it looks like this is the main idea. And then after that, whatever the notes that you have taken, you need to practice them. If it's those who are doing maths or whatever, you need to practice, and then over and over and over again, so that you are able to understand. When you start writing, you know now that, okay, these are my main points, these are the main concepts, these are the key points that I'm going to write about. So then you will then be able to start your writing. So I have this slide that says, what are the benefits of reading? Because, you know, when you read, it improves your spelling. You know, when you look at the word, when you are reading, and then you're like, okay, visually, this word, when you look at it over and over again, then you are able to spell it correctly. But if you don't see the word, because if I say visually, because this is how you pronounce the word, you might write, instead of S, you might write Z. But when you see it, it means then even your spelling improves, because you are exposing your visual to the word. So reading is very, very critical. And then again, it extends your vocabulary, because now you are seeing these new words, Like, okay, what does decode mean? Most of you didn't know what decoding means, but the minute you see that, okay, I don't know this word, what is the meaning of this word? Then you go to your Google and then Google the word to say, okay, what does decode mean? So when you read, you extend your vocabulary, your knowledge of words and understanding the meanings, it increases every time. And then you also develops your comprehension skills to say you comprehend things in a better way. You comprehend, you understand to say, oh, okay, when I'm reading this text, I read it the first time, I'm reading it the second time. Oh, now your understanding becomes better. And it sort of like stimulates your mind where you are able now to say, oh, okay, because the minute you are reading something, then you have to apply, you have to come up with your views to say, okay, this is my understanding, this is my view, this is my opinion about this piece of work that I've been reading. So it's sort of like help you to expand your it stimulates your mind. Again, it provides you with information. It fires you, you can imagine things. Remember when you are reading something and then it takes you there, even if you have been to a place, but when you read, your imagination gets fired up so that you are able to think. So it stimulates your brain and then extends the power of your visualization, where you visualize things, you understand things better. And again, reading, it provides entertainment. If you make reading your hobby, it's sort of like you can read even for entertainment to say, hey, you know what, now I'm tired about this UNISA study material. I just want to relax. Some people relax by reading. Just get a nice book and then you read. And you remember, even if you are not reading now for your assignment or whatever that you are studying, when you are reading that particular book, you're sort of like refreshing your mind. You are relaxing, and then when you are relaxed, it makes your brain to just to calm down. It's like you're coming from these hard things, which is now how do you knit together your assignment, and then from there now we're like, hey, it's like some of you will just watch the movie and then to say, let me just watch this just to relax my mind. So it is also a good habit of you just grabbing just a book, even if it's a book that you read when you were in standard 10, I mean grade 10 or whatever. It makes you, now you have got even a better understanding to say, I didn't even understand this thing while I was still young, but now because you have developed, then you are able to understand it better. So it sort of like relaxes your mind. And let me tell you, reading makes you smarter, because I just gave a quotation here to say, well-read people are interested and interesting. And it makes you to be well informed. As a UNISA student now, you are now on another level. Even your debates, you debate about something that you have read, because you are well informed. You understand what is happening in your environment. When people are talking about this load shedding, you have your views now to say, but how best can we deal with this thing? You think, as a student, you must be a critical thinker, because you are well read. So you must keep on updating yourself, reading what is happening, what are the current affairs which is happening around us, because the information that you need to get it becomes part of your studies. If your lecturer has to set, say, an exam or whatever, I don't think they take things from the sky. They take things that are happening because they just want to test you to say, how do you think? What is your opinion? What is your view with regard to this matter? So reading is very, 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 very important in your life. So this will be the end of my presentation, because this is the one that we did last week.
Ma'am, you said there is no wrong answer as long as you substantiate, give evidence why
Yes.
you saying what you're saying. So if I can answer a question like maybe out of context and give a valid reason why I'm saying that, is it correct?
But you said out of context.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's analyze that out of context. It should be within the context, but you are supporting your idea. Remember, if for instance, Xolisi, you're raising a very good point to say, if you are supposed to write a descriptive essay, right?
Yes.
Describe. Let me go back to the accident. Write a descriptive essay of the accident that claimed 30 people on the N3 Durban. You see, now you need to focus on the context. You cannot go now and talk about, describe another accident that happened N1 North. You need to talk about, you need to write about that description, but it must be within the context. You shouldn't go out of tangent, because now once you get out of tangent, you are talking about something else that happened on N1 South. You're talking about another accident that happened elsewhere. So it depends on how the topic was presented to you.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yes, totally.
Yeah, so it should be within the context. But then once you take it out of context, then obviously you are wrong. As much as you will be supporting whatever, but the fact is that you are out of context.
Okay, right? Ma'am, I get it. Yes, I get it.
Yeah. So stay in the line. You know when you, unless otherwise, okay, let me give you this other scenario. If ever the question said, give write a descriptive essay of the extent of car accidents at Moloto Road. I don't know whether everybody know where Moloto Road is. You see, but still it is within the Moloto Road. No, I'm wrong. Okay, let me rephrase it. Write a descriptive essay on the extent of accidents in South Africa, the extent of road accidents, or maybe accidents that are caused by trucks in South Africa. They didn't say where. So it's where now, Xolisi, you can say, okay, you choose now to be talking about accidents that happened at Moloto Road. One will talk about the accidents that happen at N1 North. One will describe whatever the accident that you experience in wherever. You see, there is no specific context that was given, whereas others it's like specifics. So in that case, if you're talking about accidents that happen in South African roads, or maybe caused by trucks or whatever, because there was this carnage of trucks, killing people and what have you. So there you are able to, there is no specific context there. It doesn't confine you to this particular area, but then you can give your descriptive essay on either Moloto Road or N3 or N1 North or N1 South and what have you. So this is what you need to be able to comprehend, because even the question, when you are given a question, read that question over and over again. What is it that is expected of me here? Read your question carefully, because you find that the question maybe has got, it requires you to answer two things. You see? And then you only answer one. Or maybe they're giving you to say, give us a scenario about the accident that you have once experienced in maybe in N1, N3 to Durban, because this is where these trucks, or maybe you see places where there are mines, you have got lots of trucks and whatever. So if it depends how the question has been phrased. So if the question, so these are the things that you need to take cognizance to say, how was the question phrased? So the minute that you send me your assignment question, I will take one, and then we read that assignment question. And then, so that we can break it down to say, what is it that is needed here, so that you shouldn't talk about something that is out of tangent. You understand, Mponi, isn't it?
Yes, Mama.
Good morning, madam.
Morning, Michael.
I have an ask regarding the referencing. So currently we are dealing with a research-based essay. So I would like to ask, since you said that, we as students have a say in criticizing particular things because we read and study on a daily basis. So I would like to ask if ever I could conclude on my views or express my views in a research-based essay, or should I reference the whole thing?
Good question. Remember, referencing, even if I was not dealing with referencing. Referencing, Kopano, deals with acknowledging that whatever that you are writing there, remember you will read, you will read different sources. You will read about a topic, right? Then after you have read, you say, if it is something that you read and then it was written by so and so author,
yes, ma'am,
what you do, you acknowledge to say, so and so says this about this matter. And then so you see, you are not saying it is you, Kopano, who is saying this. You are referencing, you are acknowledging, because referencing means acknowledging that this is not me who is saying this. This particular scholar is the one who is saying this. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are referencing. Then after you have spoken about, you have written about what so and so is saying, then you come and say, in my view, this is my opinion, to say what this so and so is saying, I have got a different view. We don't
Yes.
we don't call it criticizing. Remember, now you are arguing the point. This is where now
Yes, ma'am.
argumentative essay comes in. You saying,
Yes, ma'am.
but you know, in my view and my experience, what I've experienced is that whatever that this so and so is saying, this is how I understand it. This is my opinion.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you are not saying this so and so is wrong, because he might be saying this based on his experience.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
then you bring now you, because you also want to contribute how you feel or how you think about this. Then you support it, and then you're saying, in my view, this is what I think, and then you get another author who supports what you are saying, to say so and so says this and this and this and this, which also support my view.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand? So,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
in an academic environment, we don't say this and so author is wrong. No, there's nobody who is wrong, because that was his research, his or her research. So, but then you say, it's the point of the matter here. When you reference, you are saying, do you agree? Are you in agreement with this author? Or you have got a different view. So you can say, I have a different view based on what so and so said, and even maybe your experience. That's what a referencing is all about. Referencing is not criticizing anybody. It's either you agree with them or you have a different view about what this person is saying.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Yeah. So this is what it's all about. So like I'm saying that we are going to discuss about the referencing in detail. But if you have a question, or maybe you are stuck, like I said, you can send to us, because there is different styles of referencing. Others, UNISA, I don't know, depending on the department. It varies with the department. Some departments or some colleges or some fields, they prefer what we call a Harvard style of referencing. Others use other styles, because there are different types of referencing. So we will deal with this in detail on Friday. I will try to invite my colleagues to come and share with you how you should reference, because if you are not, you don't have skills of referencing, you can be disqualified. You might be very busy now writing your assignment and whatever, but if you don't reference, you don't cite, because sometimes you cite what the author said. So if you don't have the correct citations or the correct referencing, you can find yourself being disqualified, because you will have committed what we call plagiarism. So you must be very, so whatever that you are drafting now, if you are using other sources to support what you are doing, just hang in there. Don't send it before, up until you get the correct referencing. I know there are, I can't remember who was there last week, who said she has already sent her assignment, but it's fine. If you have already sent your assignment, it's not a problem. When you receive the feedback, then we will be able to help you, and then to do better next time. All right, so that's all from me. And then in the absence of any, then we will end our session.